What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Man, the Orlando Magic are straight up rolling right now, and they're hitting their stride at the best time in the season just before the playoffs. They're cooking. They've been cooking. They're one of the hottest teams in the league, and they're one of the youngest teams in the league. And there's a lot of reason to believe that playing them in the playoffs is not going to be fun, and probably somebody might lose to them. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Please like the video, but let's talk about the Orlando Magic, kind of how they've come together to this point and why I think they're so dangerous come playoff time. Main reason, they're the youngest team in the East to be in the playoffs right now. They're literally just young guns just out there hooping. They don't even know what to expect, really. They're just out there hooping and killing teams, right? But there's a thing with that, though. They're young, they're inexperienced, and yeah, that might cost them a game. That could very well happen. But they're the only team in the East right now that's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. If you look at it, all those other teams around them either have experienced vets, players looking for contracts, whatever it may be, or like they need to win in the postseason. The Magic are just like, yeah, we're young, like we're here now, we're kind of figuring this thing out on the fly, and we have nothing to lose because this is all just going to be experience and improvement for next year. Now, I'm not telling you that the Orlando Magic are going to go win the Eastern Conference. I'm not saying that in any way because I don't expect that of them, and neither should you. But being another team in the East outside of Boston, because I think Boston beats everybody in the East, honestly, but outside of Boston, Orlando can beat every other playoff team in the way that they're looking right now. They legitimately can. I mean, if you look at, like, the Knicks are banged up. We don't even know if they're ever going to be healthy come playoff time. It's the same story for the Cavs. It's the same story for Philly. It's the same story for, like, the Heat. Like, the Bucks have been kind of hit or miss, and they're Doc Rivers coached. So they're probably... That's why I don't have a lot of hope for the Bucks, is straight up just because of Doc Rivers. But all those teams outside of Boston could get smoked by Orlando. And at the very least, in the first round, if they lose in the first round because they're a young team and they don't quite figure it out fast enough, they're taking somebody to 6 or 7. That's my guarantee for the playoffs. And right now, they're like tied for 4th with the Knicks. And that is something that if they have home court in a playoff, in that first round playoff series, whoever the 5 seed is in trouble because Orlando is one of the best teams, at least in the East, at home. I think they're the 3rd best home team in the entire Eastern Conference. But with them being so young and everything, obviously it's like you got to have star power, you got to have playmakers out there. And they're led by one of the best young players in the entire world in Paolo Banchero. He has legitimate MVP level player potential. As a second-year player, he's 23, 7, and 5. Being in your sophomore year in the NBA and putting up 23, 7, and 5, being an all-star and leading your team to a potentially top 4 seed in the playoffs is nuts. That's not normal. And now this is not just Paolo, right? Obviously, there's a lot of guys on this team that have led them to be where they're at. Like, you can kind of go with Paolo's co-star in Franz Wagner, who's giving you, 25 and 4. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and he's pretty efficient too. Like, you have a young duo that complement each other as well as being forwards that can handle the ball. So that is incredibly important because that's what is the thing that every NBA team wants right now is explosive wings that can get buckets and can play defense and handle the ball. Like, they want those all-around wings, and Orlando's got 2 of them. And Paolo, I'm going back to Paolo here, I feel like his playmaking has, like, exponentially grown from his rookie year. It's crazy the vision that has developed and the passing that has developed out of him. He's having a lot of games lately with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 assists. And he's setting the table. So we can give love to the top 2 guys, right? And when you have a legit superstar in the making in Paolo Banchero, the playoffs is where stars are like cemented. That's where it happens. And he's a playoff level player. The way he plays, physical, in the paint, gritty, through contact. That's the play style that you need someone on your team to have to go deep in the playoffs. You need somebody that can bring the intensity to it. And Paolo is one of the most intense young players in the entire league. Now, just outside of him, you have guys on this team that are like Jalen Suggs, who looked pretty bad the first couple of years, but have jumped drastically and shown that they're really, really good players. And Jalen Suggs, particularly, good 3-and-D player. He's one of the best defenders in the league, and he's had a true. Because you can't call him most improved player, but he's had like a very, very improved season over what he did the last couple of years. Then you have guys outside of him, right? Like the depth on the team is actually there. They have a lot of depth. That's why when Wendell Carter Jr. missed games, like they were like Goga stepped in and was cool. And like Markelle Fultz missed a lot of games, but Cole Anthony holds it down, right? Jalen Suggs improves. Markelle's back now. Jonathan Isaac's healthy finally. He's having a good, healthy year. And if you watch the game today against Pelicans where they beat him by like 15, 20 points, Jonathan Isaac was primarily covering Zion. One-on-one, there wasn't help. A lot of times, you might have had some backside help, but Jonathan Isaac was kind of locking it up one-on-one. And that's crazy because Zion is a freak. So, like, we can continue down those. Anthony Black's a young guy that's kind of stepped in and has played well. Mo Wagner is awesome at his role. Wendell Carter Jr. back healthy, killing it. Gary Harris. I'm listing names right now, and all these dudes are legit players on their team. And would be legit players on almost every other team in the league, right? Joe Ingles. You can't forget Jingles. Come on now. He's the veteran presence that team has lacked over the years, and he's kind of given them a complementary piece that brings that edge. It adds to like the edge Paolo is playing with, and Franz is playing with, and Mo is playing with, and Suggs is playing with. They're all on board with what their mission is, because their mission is that they're going to lock you down as they're a top 3 defense in the league. They're going to play smash mouth physical basketball that nobody else in the league really likes to play. And they're going to talk trash while they do it a little bit. They're getting one of those teams that, honestly, now we love them, but in like 2 years, they're going to be like the Grizzlies, where people loved them on the come up and they don't like them when they actually arrive. But with those players all playing well and playing with that energy and that tenacity, somebody's got to lead it all, right? And the coach, Jamal Mosley, has done a fantastic job. Should definitely be in the Coach of the Year running. I don't know who would have my vote at this moment in time, but he's definitely taken this team that really at the end of last season was playing well. And like they put together a good like 40, 50 games. And then this year they just kept it going and took it further and better. At the end of last season they were kind of playing like a 500 team. And now what are they, 42-28? You're already over 500 for the rest of the season, and there's still 20 games or whatever the number is. It could be 15 games. I'm sorry, whatever that number is. They're really, really fun to watch, and it's not like they're putting up a crazy amount of points, but the ways that they're beating teams is entertaining because they have a philosophy and they have a method that they stick with. And like I said, I truly believe, with the exception of Boston, they can beat anybody in the East. They could legitimately beat anybody in the East. Now, am I saying that they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals? No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they very well could, depending how the matchups play. It all comes down to what teams are looking like as the playoffs start, right? There's gonna be somebody that gets hurt at some point here because it's March 21st? Yeah, March 21st right now. We still got like 3 weeks left, right? So there's a lot that's gonna change in the next 15 games in the next 3 weeks, to where the seeding could look completely different. In matchups, like styles make matchups. That's the playoffs. You get teams that maybe they're a small team, but they shoot the lights out, but they're not big, and you're the Magic, and you're coming in and you're going to bully them. Like, that is something that could pose problems for other teams. So we'll see how it looks come playoff time, because they're definitely a team I'm keeping my eye on, and I think that they're a team that is kind of going under the radar, and people are like, how good really are they? And it's dangerous because they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Because if they lose in the first round, it's, we're a young team. We're figuring it out. But if they beat you in the first round, now they've got experience, and you just lost to a team that has never been there before. There's pressure for the other side too. So let me know what you think the Orlando Magic are going to do come playoff time. Where do you think that they finish in the season? If you have them as a first round exit, that's cool. You got them as a second round exit. Or if you think they could even make the Eastern Conference Finals, which I think they could potentially do, I wouldn't like stamp my name next to it, but I wouldn't be shocked at it. Let me know in the comments how you feel about them, how you feel about Paolo, Franz, Suggs, any other players on the team. It's fun to see this team that, was kind of in the cellar for a long time after the Dwight Howard years, or they were mediocre at best. Now they're like a young, fun, like physical team that is here to stay. And they're going to get better and better and better, which is the crazy part. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. I really appreciate y'all for watching. I'm excited for the Magic. I'm excited for their future. I'm excited for the next 2-3 weeks and the playoffs with them. They're the team that in the East outside of Boston that I'm probably going to watch the most of in the playoffs. If they, depending how they play, of course. But thanks for watching. Peace.